Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Danny Firestone. I'm with Ascension Benefits. We're responsible for helping LOGOS and all of you that are in need of it to have an international student health insurance plan. And these plans are designed specifically for the needs of students that are coming from anywhere in the world to the United States that meet all of the visa requirements by the Department of State. So depending if you're F1 or J1, in some cases H visa, this provides and meets all of the requirements there. And of course, if you're not familiar with the medical system in the United States, you may have at least heard that it's extremely expensive here because in the United States it's a business and not necessarily something that is equally available to all. So in consultation with the college, we've put together a program that we both feel very comfortable with students having to provide them with care in the time of need, as well as in the event of a serious matter that requires immediate emergency assistance. The other thing that I just want to point out is that these plans will cover you anywhere except for your home country. So if you decide to, during some type of break, visit Mexico or Canada or anywhere else in the world except for your home country, you will be covered the same as you are here. So if, I don't know if there are seminary type roles that occur where you have the opportunity to visit other countries and do some work. Missionary, thank you, seminary, missionary. So, anyhow, I just want to make sure that everybody's at least aware that, you'll have coverage no matter where you go. We do recommend that you purchase insurance based upon the amount of time that you expect to be here. One problem that can occur is you can purchase by the month. However, if there's a lapse in coverage and something were to happen, clearly that could create some issues for you. So we want to make sure that you have continuous coverage. So it is recommended that you purchase for at least the time period that you expect to be here, or at least several months, maybe a semester or term. Just a recommendation. So I'm going to show you how to access the plans. I'll show you and share some details with you on the plan. Should you need some materials, you can find them in the international office with Becky. She has materials both in English and in Chinese. So definitely make sure that you stop by the office if you have questions. Also, you can email me or call me with questions. We do get some emails from some students. So first thing that you're going to want to do is there are two ways to get it. You can go to the website. Unfortunately for me, I can't get this to translate to English, so I'm not going to be able to navigate. My sincere apologies. But somewhere in the page here, you will be able to find the same information I'm going to show you. So there are two ways for you to access the coverage. Our website is very simple. We service about 400 colleges and universities across the United States. And our website is the same for everybody. It's the number 4 studenthealth.com. Pretty easy. And the first thing we're going to ask you to do where it says start here is you're just going to go ahead and scroll down to find LOGOS. And if I spell it correctly, it starts with an L, and there it is. The next thing that you want to do, in many instances we offer multiple different plans for an institution. In this case, it's simply just International Student Insurance Plan. And what you want to do is click on View Your Plan. When you get to this page, you'll find a variety of different options. You'll find information that describes the different programs that are available here. I'll talk about that in just a moment. But also importantly, at the very bottom down here, there are some additional links. I did get a question, and I'm unfamiliar if the student is here now, but we had a student who had trouble finding doctors. She said that she couldn't find doctors that take the plan. Well, we've added a link to the website down here that says Find a Doctor. And it will take you to a site right here where you literally can enter the zip. What is the zip code here? 90. Anybody?
688.
That?
Yeah.
Okay. 90.
906
Okay.
88.
I was getting something else from someone else. Okay. No, it's not valid. 90068 maybe?
91730. 91730.
That's the school, yeah?
Yeah, that's
Okay, so let's just, for example, search within a radius of the school, which is when the school is done becoming beautiful and built up. We're going to spend most of our time there, right? And I just wanted to simply show you that just by searching that zip code within 20 miles, we have 3,600 providers that accept this plan in a variety of different disciplines of care. I will show you a couple things. First of all, is we can narrow down the search. Let's just say to 5 miles, because I don't know anyone that wants to travel 20 miles to visit a physician. But more importantly, and should you want it, there are other options. One that may be popular with people in this room is you may want somebody that speaks Chinese. Maybe you're more comfortable with that, maybe not. But you'll find other physicians that are in the area that maybe speak Chinese that you can use your plan at. So don't know if that's a concern for people, but I just wanted to point out. Now, granted, there's 7 within 5 miles. You may need to expand the range, but I just wanted to show you a tool that might be very useful. That was one of the questions that we had. I understand that there was a plan previously and there wasn't quite the same connection, so I just wanted to point that out. There are 3 programs that we offer here, all for very specific reasons. The most popular plan that is available is this very first one here. It's called the Patriot Exchange Program. It's number 1 on the list. It's the most affordable, and for 90% of the people, this is the plan that you'll want to have. It's very simple to find out how much the plan will cost you and to get additional information. You're simply going to click on the quote or buy international insurance plan here. Or if you just want to look at the coverage, you can even preview it by clicking the link to the right here, in which case it will download the brochure. This is the English version. This also comes in Chinese. So we have copies of that in the office, and should we run out, we'll be responsible for adding more to the plan. But I just wanted to show you that there's access to that data. I'll show you how to find out how much it might cost you. So I clicked on the first link here. First thing we're going to do is just put my age in. I'm 39, at least for a couple more months. And we are going to start coverage. The soonest I can start coverage is tomorrow. So I'm going to put tomorrow. And I'm just going to put it through the end of the year because I don't know where I'll be at the end of the year. Maybe I will. But nonetheless, I'm going to select my country of citizenship, and I will say Aruba for the fun of it. And my destination country is right here, the United States. And I will go ahead and press continue. And what this will do for me is this will find that for the remainder of the time that I'm here through the 31st, this plan will cost me $248. That's it until the end of the year. There are a couple of different options here. There is some add-on coverage, and if you're curious about what those are, you can simply click to find out more information. But if you just want to apply, you're just going to go ahead and click on the rate that is provided here, and it will begin the application process. As soon as I complete the application process and I post payment online, I'm going to have my insurance card right away, and at midnight tonight, or I guess tomorrow technically, I'll be covered by the insurance plan and have access to care. So let me just tell you a little bit about the plan, how it works. It may or may not be familiar to some of you, so I just want to make sure that everybody's aware. I'm going to click on the benefits link here. The only plan that we've chosen to make available to students at the college here is the maximum of $500,000 per sickness. We don't want a situation where students purchase based only on price. $500,000 is maybe enough, but certainly you couldn't have less. It's very easy to have hundreds of thousands of dollars of expenses here in the United States. It's not very hard. I have seen expenses that, for no reason at all, are tremendous. And so we want to ensure that we're providing and instructing you in the most proper way. The cost difference is very small for a much greater amount of coverage. And so again, protection is the first and foremost. The school's responsibility, and therefore our responsibility, is to ensure that you have the best resources available, that your stay is as comfortable as possible with the most proper resources to your advantage. Things are a little tricky in the United States, so we try to keep it very simple here. The way that this plan works is you have a $100 deductible per sickness. However, after that, the plan will pay 100% of your expenses for most services. There are some things where it doesn't, and it will explain it in the policy details here. So for example, this has a $5 copay. This one has an additional $250 deductible. But for example, if I get the flu and I go to the doctor and he runs a bunch of tests, I pay $100. Everything else is paid for by the plan. If I have to go back because I'm still sick, I don't pay anything extra because it's still the same sickness. Every single time I go back for the same reason, I still have only paid the $100 one time. However, if I get well and now I sprain my ankle because I was playing basketball or football or whatever, I would have a separate $100 deductible for that specific incident, and the plan will continue to pay until that issue has been relieved. So that is still very little to ask given the status of the U.S. healthcare system. A surgery, an emergency room visit could be thousands of dollars just to treat the flu. So what we do recommend is that you find a physician, or at least what's called an urgent care center, that you can find in the local community. And of course, we can use our little tool that we looked at earlier. Urgent care, you don't need appointments. You can go in. They're typically open 7 days per week. They have very good hours, and they can treat most issues. If it's truly an emergency and you are thinking you're having a heart attack, for example, we do recommend to go to an emergency room. But if it's just a common illness, it's going to be a much shorter wait to go to an urgent care. It'll be much less expensive and much less of a hassle for you. So again, just a little word of advice there. The one thing that I want to let you know about the Patriot Exchange plan, which is going to be the most common plan that you're going to find, is that it does not cover maternity. That's the main thing. So for those men of us in the room, we don't need to worry. And for maybe some of the women in the room, we don't need to worry about that. But just so that you know, because you can add dependents to the plan, and I wouldn't know who has dependents or not. Should something be wanted where you have maternity, we recommend this plan down here, which is called the Student Health Advantage. It's the third plan. It will cover maternity. However, you cannot already be pregnant before you sign up to the plan. So I just want that to be really clear. You must not be pregnant when you enroll. And as a matter of fact, I even recommend 1 to 2 months on the plan before getting pregnant. That way there's no dispute that you could have been pregnant prior to enrolling into the plan. As much as I would hate to admit it, insurance companies don't want to pay claims if they don't have to pay claims. So we want to make sure that we're giving you the best instruction. So for those of you, even if it's not you, but it's a colleague or coworker or fellow student, we recommend that you just say, hey, you should go on the plan for a couple of months and then go ahead and work on the process of getting pregnant. So those are really the two main recommendations. You will find that the Student Health Advantage plan is quite a bit more costly because it covers extra services that the Patriot Exchange plan does not. But for the most part, all of the programs that we offer here will protect you for the everyday sickness and those accidents that obviously we cannot foresee occurring. Just wanted to see if there was anything else. So let's talk about claims for a minute. Claims are the process of you actually getting bills. It is possible when you go to a facility, they don't bill insurance or they don't bill this insurance. I don't want anybody to panic because the same rules still apply. You will still need to pay the bill up front, but if you get the invoice, we will get you reimbursed less any deductibles that may be due. So if I go to a doctor that isn't on the plan and they say, we don't bill this insurance, you're going to have to pay me $250, pay them the $250, you're going to get the invoice, call me or Becky or email, And what we'll do is help you with the claim form, submit the claim, and of course, if it was your first visit on this particular incident, there would be a $100 deductible. You would expect to receive a refund of $150 of the $250. If it was greater than that or additional visits, that's fine. We will get you reimbursed. So the plan is very robust. It's very flexible. Sometimes you hear things from doctors that may not necessarily be. So I would just say don't panic. If you have a scenario where you need help, I can only help if I know there's a problem. The only thing I ask is you call me or call Becky. That's our job, is to walk you and help you through the process. So that's really it. For those of you listening in, I will just tell everybody my number. My phone number is 310-740-1461. You can also go through Becky. The website will give you emails and phone numbers you can call as well. So our job, again, is to do the very best we can to ensure that the process is as easy as possible. And we just recommend don't panic if things aren't quite what you thought it would be. We will help you in the best way possible to ensure that we can get things resolved. So are there any questions so far? Is there anything that's confusing? Yes, sir.
I'm just wondering about reverse.
Yes.
You mean the doctors?
Yes.
Find on the website. If I go to the doctors who does not on the list of the website.
You could. Yes.
And I still receive the same reverse.
Yes. Yes.
The same reverse as the
Yeah.
doctors.
But you may just have to pay them up front, whereas doctors that accept the plan, if you provide your insurance card, they will know right away to call the number on the card, and then they'll know how to bill insurance. So either way, I just don't want anybody to panic simply because they say, oh, we don't, because sometimes even doctors that are on the list don't recognize this because they don't deal with a lot of international plans, and they work differently. So definitely take my information. I have had people call me from the doctor's office before, and I will talk to them on your behalf. Obviously, making sure that you're covered, but assuming that you've paid the premium and you have the insurance and everything on our side is correct, our role is to help get you through the process and make sure that everything goes as smoothly as possible. In a worst case scenario, just ask them for an invoice or pay them with a credit card, and we'll get you reimbursed in a very, very short manner within, a handful of business days.
Actually, you cannot just go to any doctor. You need to go to the doctor that's on the list.
No. Well, we recommend it because that's how we're going to avoid billing problems, but technically speaking with this plan, they can go anywhere. Yeah, but we would recommend that you do go on the list just because the process would be easier. It's a nice tool. Usually the doctors that are on this list are doctors that take insurance. Sometimes some of the non-traditional providers may not take insurance, and they may not even be covered. So there are some gray areas that are not always as clear. Sometimes I go to a chiropractor. Sometimes those aren't covered. So it really depends. That's why I said we do the best we can within the parameters of the outline of the plan. You can always open up a sample contract here, and you'll get one of these in the mail. And this outlines everything that's covered by the plan. It's a lot to read. It's very intense. It's a lot of words that, unless you're in insurance, that you won't understand. But nonetheless, these are available to you at any given time. Does that answer your question?
I do.
Yes.
So not all the doctors are covered in this plan, right? Not all of them.
So they can go to any doctor.
Any doctor.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned about the traditional, like if I go to acupuncture.
Yeah, so that's a great question, and I'm not sure, and again, it varies from plan to plan. Wait, it's not that one. And let's see here, benefits. I don't know that acupuncture is covered. I don't believe that it is. But then there's some, and it all depends how they bill it. So there are in between, you have osteopathic doctors that are physicians. They bill insurance. So it varies, and that's why I'm just tread lightly. but typically the non-traditional aren't covered as well. Let's just see if I can find it here real quick. Is it ACC? No. Let's try 1C. Let's see here. Does this fall under? Excuse me. Yeah, so acupuncture is excluded because it falls under the exclusions list here. So these are all the areas that are excluded, like terrorism is excluded.
And chiropractic is also excluded?
Yeah, it's going to be excluded, yeah. It's just the problem. I mean, even our traditional insurance plans don't cover those very well to begin with, unfortunately. These plans are what they call accident and sickness plans. So they're designed for non-preventative care, but they're designed for actual accident and sickness. Now, I was raised non-traditional. I've gone to chiropractic acupuncture my whole life, and I typically pay that out of pocket. I rarely actually go to the doctor and use my insurance. So again, if you think of it from the big picture here, it's not designed for the little things. This is really designed for the unknown item. I had a heart attack. I got in an accident. I injured myself. Something happened on a more serious level, that I'm unable to pay for, but I need to get good medical attention. And without insurance, that's very hard to do. So that's why we have this in place for you. Other thing that you'll notice, I'll just point this out, especially even for those who are listening. These plans, like I said, there are certain requirements they must cover. All of these plans cover what's called repatriation and medical evacuation up to a certain amount. And I'll just show you here where it shows it on the benefits. So this is the Patriot Exchange. You'll see for emergency evacuation right here, it covers $50,000, and that would be to fly you home in the event or back to your home country in the event that there's medical assistance needed. Mortal remains is the unfortunate event that if I were to pass away here, it would get me home back to my home country for proper burial. Even political evacuation it has. So again, not even necessarily, I don't know, the United States, you might need political evacuation this year, but if you're traveling to a remote place on vacation, away from school, and there was some sort of unrest, it would allow to help bring you home. And that's a really important item as well. So these are the areas that it really differs from a US-based plan. And of course, the cost. Our plans are far more expensive than this, and they cover far less. We don't have 100% coverage for a limited amount. Any further questions? That's it. You guys all are experts now. I did such a good job. Or I've put you to sleep. Okay. Well, again, my name is Danny Firestone. I'm with Ascension Benefits. We truly appreciate the opportunity to serve you and to help you through your stay here. Again, thank you.
Thank you.